Hi everyone, this is Anna and welcome to another sewing tutorial. Today I will show you how to make this classy jacket. I have a ready to sew pattern from 2 extra small till 4 extra large sizes, so 9 sizes in total. Each size has an individual file with seam allowance guidelines. Printing size available in A0, A4 and letter size. This pattern you can download from the website annathetailer.com or by visiting Etsy shop Anna the Tailor. For this project I will use 1.5 meters of wool fabric. Also I will use viscose lining, thread same color as fabric, fusible interfacing, metal buttons 6 bigger and 8 smaller ones, and also I will need a pair of shoulder pads. I will be using wool fabric. Satin or cashmere fabric will work with this style as well. I'm using viscose lining. I also recommend to pre-press or wash all of the fabrics before cutting. I already cut my details and here is what I have. 2 front details fused at the bottom to prevent fabric from stretching, 2 side details fused at the bottom, 1 back detail on fold fused at the bottom and the top, 2 upper sleeves fused at the bottom and the top, 2 under sleeves fused at the bottom, 2 front facing fully fused, 2 pocket details fully fused, 1 back facing fully fused, 2 pocket linings, 2 front linings, 2 back linings, 2 upper sleeve and under sleeve details. So let's start stitching. Place side details on top of the back with face side inside. Pin seams and stitch. Place front details to the side details with face side inside. Match side seams and shoulder seams. Pin and stitch. After stitching, press all seams open. Take the upper sleeve, place under sleeve on top with face side inside. Join at the back seam, pin and stitch till the vent opening. Afterwards, press all seams open. Join in seam, pin and stitch. After stitching, press seam open. Make a stay stitch on the sleeve head. Take the bottom thread and pull it slightly to create round shape on the sleeve head. Pin sleeve inside the armhole, matching all notches, and stitch sleeve in. Take the pockets, place lining on top, pin upper seam and stitch. Make an understitch on the lining to secure seam allowance in place. Join pocket edges, pin all the way around and stitch, but leave a small opening to turn out the pocket later. Carefully trim corners and trim half of the seam allowance at the curves. Turn out the pocket and press them flat. On the front jacket panel, transfer pocket placement from the pattern. Pin pockets and hand stitch them with invisible stitch, and give a good press to those pockets. Place shoulder pads to the shoulder seams, pin it and hand stitch to secure them in place. Take the back lining and stitch 1 cm where the notch is, and then stitch center back seam all the way. Take the front lining and join side seams. Pin both seams and stitch. Press seams after stitching. Take front facing and pin it to the front lining. Pin back facing to the back lining. Stitch front and back facing. Press seams after stitching. Join front and back shoulder seams, pin and stitch. After stitching, press shoulder seams open. Take the sleeve details and place undersleeve on top of the upper sleeve. Pin back seam and stitch. Press seams after stitching. Join inseam, pin and stitch. And don't forget to press seams after stitching. Pin sleeve inside the armhole and stitch. Place lining on top of the jacket and join the bottom seam. Pin and then stitch, but leave a small opening. Press seam open at the facing part. Join facing and jacket neckline matching shoulder seams. Pin it and stitch all the way. Trim corners at the neckline and the bottom to avoid bulkiness. And also make notches all around neckline to let seam allowance follow the neckline shape. Make a notch on the hem to open the seam and also fold and press 4 cm seam allowance at the hem. Hand catch 4 cm seam allowance on the bottom. Turn jacket inside out and press all seams flat. On the upper sleeve side, fold and press 4 cm seam allowance at the sleeve bottom. Mark seam allowance meeting points. Also mark corner and transfer it to the inside. Join notches, draw line and make a stitch from notches till the corner mark. Trim seam allowance leaving half a centimeter seam and carefully trim corners. Turn it inside out and press seam open. Drag sleeve lining through the jacket sleeve, join bottom seams with right side to right side, pin it all the way the sleeve bottom till the corner, and stitch on both sleeves. Turn sleeve through the bottom hole and pin opening on the undersleeve side. Fold 4 cm from the bottom and join seams at the top. Let out lining axis towards bottom and stitch. Carefully trim the corner. On the upper sleeve lining, make a small notch on the inner corner. Place lining to the upper sleeve vent and pin it matching corner and a notch that we just have made. Let out lining axis towards bottom and stitch. Overlap sleeve vent, then turn sleeve inside out through the bottom hole. Cover vent with lining and secure it with stitch. Hand catch 4 cm seam allowance on the sleeve bottom. Turn it inside out, mark 3 cm from the fold at the bottom vent and overlap bottom vent with upper vent. Secure it with pin. Mark 4 cm from the bottom and make another 4 marks with 1.5 cm distance. Measure 1 cm from the vent fold to define buttons position. Hand stitch smaller buttons to each mark, catching all layers. Cover opening at the bottom with lining and hand stitch it with invisible stitch. Transfer button loop placement from the pattern and make a buttonholes. I'm using my domestic sewing machine and first trying on a scrap of fabric to see if I like the loop. Then I'm making loops on a jacket. Using seam ripper, cut through the button loops. Overlap front closure to transfer exact position for the buttons. Mark 2 cm from the edge and hand stitch the buttons. Mark half on a pocket and mark 2 cm from the top. Hand stitch the buttons. And here is the final result. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you were inspired to make this jacket, you can download a PDF ready-to-sew pattern from my website annathetailer.com. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learned something from it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to see more new projects, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye!